Hello my friends and welcome back to Ingamlembe. This is the Port of Cultural Store. Today we embark on yet another fascinating journey through the evolution of toilet wiping materials. Therefore we're gonna explore the history of hygiene from the ancient civilization to the modern innovations, and how our choices in toilet papers have evolved over time. So grab the grabbable, grab a comfortable seat, and actually be ready to wipe away some knowledge about the surprising evolution of this everyday necessity. So as usual, sit back, relax, and please watch the video till the end. That said, let's jump right in, and let's first of all start by looking at the ancient materials that were used to do this work, were used as wiping materials. First on the list, stones. You can't believe this. Stones were actually used back in the days as wiping materials. One could just pick a stone that they see that can do the work or fits the work and uses it to wipe. The other thing was dust and sand. Dust and sand, whereby after leaving yourself, you just sit and then roll or move forward, and then by doing so you will be wiping yourself. The other thing was grass, just grass, green grass without green snakes. Where green snakes means foreign objects that may stab your butt or your bum or your behind. Okay, so those grasses, green grass, were also used as wiping materials. Those are 3 or 4. The 5th or the 4th, I lost the count. The maizecob or corn cob. We call this sokoro in my mother tongue. In my Luya language, we call this sokoro. And don't confuse it with sokoro among the couriers, the likes of Marwa, that in the mafia. So among the courier people, sokoro is a grandfather, but for the Luyas, sokoro is maizecob. So this maizecob was widely used as a wiping material. So you had to use it while it's still fresh, like this. This can do that work very well. As you can see, it has some soft tissues, but these don't last long, because after the termites eating, termite likes eating these soft tissues, and then it remains sharp. So you can't use it while it is sharp, otherwise it may cause some harm to you. So one reason to consider before using it, it has to be fresh. That is the first reason. The first thing to observe, actually, it has to be fresh. And the second one, you have to consider the size. Okay, that is why I have two. Have the thick one and the thin one. There is a Nigerian proverb which can also help us in this situation, which says, before you swallow okaro seed, consider the diameter of your anus. That proverb can be applied here. Before you use maizecob as wiping material, consider the diameter of your anus so that you don't harm yourself. That is again, that takes us to the importance of studying your body and knowing your body parts well. Okay, you have to study your body and know it. every part, every section, every corner of your body part. You have to know it. So before you use maizecob, consider the size of that split so that you use the correct size of maizecob while wiping yourself. Over with the we are finished with the grass, sand, stone and soil. Another wiping material back in the days was wood, whereby one could just sit on the edge of the wood and then pull themselves, and by doing so you'll be cleaning yourself of the remains that the waste remains behind there. For the grass was mostly used by the kids. No kids couldn't use the leaves well. The kids couldn't use the leaves well, so the kids opted for grass. And using grass, you just sit in the grass and then you pull yourself. For those of you who have watched that Natechovi's video entitled "How I Comes Down the Stairs when there is no lift," the way she was coming down, that way, that is how you wipe yourself in the grass. Natechovi way, we shall call it Natechovi way. The other material that was used back in the days and has survived the test of the time is the leaves. Actually, today, leaves is still in use. Leaves was used back in the days and it is still in use up to date. However, you can't use leaves in the toilets, the flushing ones. Leaves are only used when using a pit latrine. Pit latrine. Is it pit latrine or lavatory? Any can work. Yes, either pit latrine or lavatory. Yes. So let's now move to the leaves. And with the leaves, from where I come from, we do things differently. Maybe what we do, you guys don't do it where you come from. But from where I come from, we had the do's and the don'ts of using leaves. We had the do's and the don'ts while using leaves. So what are the don'ts of these leaves? Number one, any vegetable leaves were never used as wiping material. People never wiped themselves with the vegetable. Back in the days before the Portuguese, the ancestors of Cristiano Ronaldo brought us maize and cassava. We used to eat wild leaves, which we used as vegetable, wild leaves, and actually it was wild vegetable, and then we have wild leaves used as a supplemental to vegetable, but are not cooked. You can just chew and you swallow. So those vegetable leaves were never used as wiping materials, as well as these wild leaves, these edible wild leaves. Okay, so that is one don't of the leaves. Never use vegetable, never use edible leaves as wiping material. The other one, never use any leaves from a fruit bearing tree. Never use any leaves from a fruit bearing tree as wiping materials. Number four, never use medicinal plants leaves as wiping materials. Okay, never use medicinal plants leaves as wiping materials. And the other one, the food crops were also never used as wiping materials. The likes of potatoes and cassava. In fact, even today, leave alone using the leaves as wiping materials, you are not allowed actually to defecate in the plantation, in potato plantation or cassava plantation. That one was considered to be an act of witchcraft. Okay, defecating alone in the plantation of vegetable or potatoes was considered to be an act of witchcraft. So those are some of the plants that their leaves were never used as wiping materials where I come from. I don't know where you come from, how you does things. You can as well share in the comments how you do it from where you come from. Okay, so we move to these leaves. I believe you know the tree on which I plucked these leaves. Look at it well. Do you know it? In my community we call it Luciola. But this tree is called Mahamia, or you can call it Lutea Mahamia. It doesn't produce food, neither its leaves are edible. However, it is never used as wiping materials for two reasons. One reason is that these leaves are used for covering food while cooking, to prevent the steam waste. You know, it is the steam that quickens the cooking, especially when you are cooking foods like cassava, potato, or pumpkin, liwondo. We use these to cover food while cooking. The second reason, we use this as wrapping material. These leaves can be used to wrap meat. You just place meat and then you wrap, and you're good to go wherever you wanna go. So because of those two reasons, Mahamia lutea's leaves are never used as wiping material. The other reason as to why it can't be used, leave alone the two, I believe it is because of its nature. It is very smooth. So even if you try to wipe yourself, it won't remove anything. It is very, very slippery. I believe that also is a reason as to why it's never used. So despite the fact that we have the dons when it comes to using the leaves, we have some people who are mad. We have the insane people. These kind of people won't observe these rules and may end up even just using even vegetable leaves to wipe themselves. Okay, we say bulisiro sirino mulalu wasio. Every market has got a mad person. Okay. It is a proverb that is widely used and can be applied on various various things, because this proverb actually means in every organization, in every setup, there must be one thing or two that will always go against the grain. Okay, with zero so normal. Indeed, if you work in the markets in the rural areas, every market at least you will get every market you visit, at least you will get a mad person. So it was easy to coin that proverb, considering that fact that at least in every market there is a mad person moving around or living there. So I believe I'm through with the materials used back in the days. So we can move to something else. Because we are learning, we can move to, we can widen the scope of our discussion, and just a generalized thing now, but that we are dealing with the toilet matters. So before we move to the next, let's exhaust this one. In my community, we also have some proverbs that were inspired from this act of defecating, that I wish to also share with you. And if from your side you also have the same, please just drop in the comments below so that we can exchange. So in my community, we have the proverbs coined from defecating, and one of the proverbs says this one is becoming now funny. One of the proverbs says, wakania yevirira, wakasena sievirira. This translates to whoever defecated forgot, but the one that stepped on the feces will always remember. This proverb actually means that we actually have to be cautious wherever we are going about our lives, or whenever we are doing things. You don't do the things that comes to hurt someone who will come or who will be around there. So literally, back in the days, people used to walk barefoot, and there was no toilet. So we are trying to look at in a literal way, literally connecting now. People used to dump the feces all over, and people also used to walk barefoot. So it was easy to step on these feces, and the person who stepped on the feces actually felt bad. Okay, felt bad. So the feces here, the person defecating is the person doing the wrong thing, and the person who is stepping on your feces is the person who is now suffering from the brunt of your deeds. So we have to be cautious so that we don't cause harm to others. The next proverb is giving birth is better than defecating. This proverb teaches the people about the importance of bringing up the kids. Okay, it is emphasizing on the importance of having a child. Okay, and it is something valuable compared to just defecating, because after defecating everything ends there, but giving birth, I have a kid who would later on come to assist you in several ways, especially when you are at an advanced age. Finally, we move to Swahili land. Swahili land, the coasts. These are Mombasa, Malindi, those areas where we had Swahili people, and we meet the Swahili proverb which says mafi ya kale hayanuki, the old feces doesn't smell. Okay, the old feces doesn't smell. The proverb also teaches what is normally said, that time heals. So the proverb tells us about the things that have already happened and settled down. Even if you try to remember or to bring them back, they can't cause harm as they caused the time of happening. Okay, so time has healed. That is why mafia kale is no longer smelling. So the things that happened back in the days doesn't cause serious harm as they did when they happened. Those are some of the proverbs coined from this action of relieving ourselves. Okay, so finally I would also like we look at the act itself. You know, from where I come from, when a word seems to be heavy or causing shame, we normally use an alternative way of addressing it. Okay, when we feel that this particular word causes shame, or people don't feel free to use it in public, we go around and use a more polite word to describe that action. So like defecating, kukunia, we call it onia. We don't use that word as it is, but we replaces it with a more polite word. I believe this is culture all over. You also does the same, and if so, please share in the comments, how do you describe it? How do you describe that action of relieving yourself? For us, we have some words that we normally use, and one of them is ndiaruanyi. Ndiaruanyi means I am going outside, if I give it a direct translation to England. But you know, sometimes direct translation leads to some words losing their original meaning. However, in this case, I just wanna share with you how we make these words look nicer, so that you can feel free to use them regardless the people around you. So one of them is ndiaruanyi, I'm going outside. If you say ndiaruanyi, it is more polite than saying ndiahonia. Another one is ndiahwehonya, which if given direct translation is I'm going to help myself. Naenda kujisaidia. Actually, the Luya and the Swahili goes hand in hand. Okay, ndiahwehonya, naenda kujisaidia. But when you translate into English, it somehow loses the meaning or it doesn't make sense. Okay, It either loses the meaning or it doesn't make sense. The third one is Nziyakufuba lisafu. Nziyakufuba lisafu. I'm going to draw a leaf. This one was coined from the after defecation action of wiping. You used the leaves, and after using the leaves, you throw the leaves. So Nziyakufuba lisafu, direct translation is I'm going to throw a leaf. Naenda kutupa tawi. Okay. And finally, Nziyakuposta ibarua. I'm going to post the letter. You see now, if you give it direct translation, it loses its original meaning or its intended meaning. Okay? Nziyakuposta ibarua. I am going to post the letter. It makes sense in English, but it loses its intended meaning. So those are some of the words we use to replace the words that looks shameful in the eyes of the people. So I think we are now moving to the next stage. Okay, we are now moving to the next stage, but just before we cross over, we have some the act itself is onia, and the feces is mafui in my language. The feces is mafui. The act itself is the act of removing feces from the stomach is honia. Okay, and mafui, almost the same as Swahili mafi. Some Swahili pronounce the word as mavi, others as mafi. So I believe the two can work. Mafi mushkila. Okay, so now mafi without mushkila means feces. Okay, and mafi gives birth to zibala. Mafi becomes zibala, but mushkil becomes chaos. Mushkil gives birth to chaos. So if you hear mafi mushkila, that is something else. And if you hear just mafi, just know that that is the feces, which later on turns to be zibala. Team Gulf, are we together? Are we together? Well, if you say yes, now let's move to the nature, to the bush, to the forest. And the reason as to why we are going there, we are going to do a study. And our study evolves around the wiping materials. We want to see if the world materials, the materials that were used back in the days, if indeed they are still in use today. Okay, this one, we know this one, especially in rural areas, it is still in use. Leaves are still widely used, especially in rural areas. Now we want to check if the same is also still in use in the city. Okay, we want to see if maizecob is still in use in the city. Dust and grass, sand, if they are still in use. What else? Wood. Yeah. What else? We want to see all of those if they are still in use, and we can only confirm that by checking in the bushes where people normally dumps or puts their drops, or because in the toilet, most of the toilets in Nairobi are connected to sewer, are flushing toilets, so we can't get that chance to study, to conduct this our study. So we are now moving to the forest, to the bush, na mtakaza roho, because we are going to meet Murphy, the real Murphy, raw Murphy. Okay, we are going for a very very tough work. So ukiwa na roho nyepesi, ole wako, utafunga macho. Guys, let's meet in the bush and conduct this study of ours. We meet there. So guys, here we are in the middle of nowhere. We are in the nature. The main reason as to why we are here, we are actually in search of human drops. So this is the bush, the best place to do this research. We are in our research, we are conducting a research, and we want to compare, or we want to find out if the old system, the old style, the old ways of wiping, if indeed is still in action, even in modern days. That is a river. It rained a lot this area. That is why we are seeing a lot of water flowing down. So let's conduct our research. We are looking for Murphy, but not Mushkila. We are looking for Murphy, but in this case, not Mushkila. This is the cow dung. That is not human drop. That is not human drop. And we need to be keen so that we can find wherever we are after. And today I'm not sounding like myself. I don't know what has happened to my voice. I don't understand what actually happened to my voice. I am sounding like someone else. Okay, here is one. This guy used actually a white tissue. This guy used a white tissue. So even in the bush, people do carry their tissue. People do carry their tissue, despite the fact that we have a lot of leaves here, which can be used. So it's like people have abandoned the old ways of wiping. Wow, wow, wow. This is cow dung. And here is a residential place for someone, the homeless, the so-called homeless. And he's inside. Yaje? Yeah. Safi. The guy is inside. Yeah. Very harsh living condition with this rain. I actually needed to jump and go the other side. Needed to jump this river and go the other side. And guys, I've just fallen down as I tried to jump over that trench. But these are some of the challenges that one would go through while conducting such research, so that one can't deter us from going on with our research. The research continue. Victory asserti. We are looking for the second species that we can study. We are already done with the first one, and we find out that some people normally comes in the bush, but they carry the modern wiping material, which is the normal tissue paper. Okay, let's cross over to the other side of the bush. It rained a lot. Hey, hey, it's like people have changed. People no longer, okay. Our second study, our second rather spaces for study, and here is another one. Here is another human drop, but there is, oh, this one used to leaves, as you can see, the dried leaves. We have dried leaves. Look at the left, on the left. So that tells us that people still embrace the leaves, and if you looked well, it is this plant's leaf. This is a Sodom apple. We actually covered it in the previous two videos. We talked much about it. It is medicinal component and things like that. So this is the leaves that were used, and here is another species for study. It seems like this person had a child, because this is the child's feces. This is the size of the child. This is not an adult. It is like that person revealed themselves over there and the child here, but the child didn't wipe. There is no nothing here to confirm that the child actually did wipe. So we presumably the child didn't wipe. Okay, let's move to the other side. It seems like we have a lot of spaces to study, and this one is the old feces. This is the old. Even the wiping material is nowhere to be seen. Hey, another one here, but no wiping material. Nothing to show what they used. So guys, I think that is enough for our study. That is enough for our study. We can conclude that people do still go in the bush, and people do still use the old ancient wiping method. People do still embrace the old ways. We can also conclude that the two, I think this is the other, this is another human feces, and the wiping materials are the leaves. Again, the leaves of Sodom apple. Sodom apple. Those that didn't have those that didn't have anything to show that were used in wiping, we can conclude that maybe they used grass. Okay. As you saw, it was a very small drop, which means it was for a child, and the children during back in the days, they used grass or dust. So maybe the child used grass. We can conclude that the old system are still in use. The old style is still actively used, even in the city. This is the city, Nairobi city. You must have noticed that that my voice is actually here is a flowering plant, beautifying nature. My voice, I'm sounding like someone else. I don't know who has entered inside me and is talking on my behalf. This is not my voice, and I have no problem. I don't suffer from flu. I don't suffer from anything to go with the vocal. So I don't know who is sounding inside me. You know, there is some cases whereby when you go to these apostolic churches, it comes during the casting out of the devils. During casting out of the devil, it reaches the time of question and answer, and the person who is driving out the devil, starts asking the devils the questions. You know, this person is normally hit down on the ground by these devils inside of them. So the pastor would ask the questions, who are you? And the devils will answer, I'm so and so. And in most cases, these devils are said to be the people who died years back. So the question goes, the question session goes, what are you doing here? I was sent by who? By so and so. To do what? To take this person away. Let me just hope that this is not the case with me, and I believe and hope to regain my voice soon. So guys, we are through with nature. We are through with the nature. I think we should now enter the modern toilet and try to find out what innovation has done when it comes to the wiping material. Let's enter now the modern toilet and see what science and technology has done to improve on wiping materials. Before that, let me just show you some plants here. These plants are very familiar. These plants are very, very familiar. Very familiar. And guys, a quail has been here. A quail has been here. Oh yeah. Luckily it went away. So it has dug this hole. Maybe this is the resting place of it. So if you know anybody who knows how to term these quails, kindly direct them to me so that we can get rid of this. This is the meat that can't go uneaten. We must come for this Isindu. You see, it has dug something like a trench from here up to where it was there. So I was showing you this one. This yellow flower producing plant, also used as medicine. Back at home we call it Vini. So guys, welcome to the toilet. Let's review our toilet. And here is a mirror. It is at night. Where I come from, we don't use the mirror at night. I will tell you the reason after toilet review. So this is the door. It is a blackboard, not a blockboard, yeah, made from blockboard, but it is a flash door. It is a flash door, so hoodie. And here is the toilet, and the main reason we are here, we want to review the wiping materials that are used in modern toilet today. So this is our toilet. As you can see, the floor is tiled, and the wall it is also tiled, but not halfway, just to up to a certain level. So this is the toilet itself. Okay, this is the toilet itself, and let me first of all lock the door. We are lucky nobody is in, so we have our time to review the toilet. We can as well lock, so that whoever comes has to knock first before pulling the door, even though I have locked, so we are secure. This is the inside of the toilet. Let's check the wall like we did the previous toilets. However, that is not our main aim here today. But the wall is clean, nothing written on the wall. Even the ceiling is clean. Those are the ventilators. I think these are here by the mistake. They shouldn't be there. So this is the toilet itself. Very clean, as you can see. Okay, everything in working condition. And let's go to the wiping material. This is a tissue paper. We can tell from the material and the quality. This one is from a virgin pulp. This is from a virgin pulp. You can just tell from the quality. So it is actually finished. Hopefully tomorrow the person dealing with the maintenance here shall replace the new one. So the first wiping material here, we have options here actually, and the first one is the tissue paper, even though it is over. The first wiping material here is the toilet tissue paper. Okay, and this is the most common method used in modern toilet today. There is no use of leaves here. There is no use of sand. There is no use of soil or grass. Or grass, you can't use those here. Even maizecob, you can't use maizecob here because if you drop inside, uh, even if you flush, it won't go away. Sand the same, maybe soil, but may cause blockage. So here you are only required to use tissue paper because it dissolves quickly in water, and when you flush, it is easy actually to go away. So that is the first method used here, and from the way the toilet tissue gets finished quickly, it tells us that this is the most common, the most preferred, and the most used way of wiping. Okay, wiping the bum. Is it called the bum or behind? The second one, the second wiping material, we have this gadget here. It is like a water tap, but this one is used for wiping. Okay, you can see it is connected to the water system there. It is connected there. So what you actually need to do, you need to hold it this way and direct it to the point you want to clean. In this case, we all know what is normally cleaned. Okay, we all know what we are talking about here. So you hold it this way and then you press downward. The moment you press downward, it releases water, and it is that water that is normally used to wipe the remains after revealing yourself. So let's press and see the amount of water that comes out. That is how it normally works. So the more you press, it is like a gas pedal of the vehicle. The more you press it, the more fuel you burn. So this one also, the more you press, the more amount of water that comes out. If you press it gently, water that shall come out is little, and it increases the amount as you press and press downward. So now that you will be seated here, Actually, you'll have to remove. I believe you'll have to remove, and then you hold this gadget facing upward and direct it to the point that wanna be cleaned. So you press like that, and then you use the other hand to clean yourself. So this is what science and technology has done to improve the way of cleaning ourselves. So this toilet has got two options uh, depending to your preference. You have one, then two. Okay. Here we also have, I think, cleaning detergent. Is it a detergent? It is called scoring powder. And we also have perfume here. That is all that are found in a modern toilet. So I think we have finished, and we can end the video now. But updating Priscilla, updating TV show. This room is very clean, and there is something like a chair here. You see, this place has been elevated to form something like a chair. So actually, you can come and watch your video from this place. It's very clean. You can even eat from here. Updating TV. Priscilla updating. Yes, Priscilla is a content creator who does updating on her channel. She does updating on various issues, actually including herself. She sometimes updates about herself. Okay. So let's close the door and put off the light inside. So let me now give you a short story about the mirror. The reason as to why we don't look ourselves in mirror at night. So guys, that is all about the toilet. And let me now give you this story, a very short story about our family and the mirror. Now that we are in front of the mirror, so we don't use the mirror at night in our family. The reason is that one of our family members some years back used the mirror at night, and the moment he picked that mirror and looked into it, instead of seeing himself, something terrible happens. He actually saw an image of someone else. Instead of seeing himself, he saw the image of someone else. And that person, they were not in good terms during that time. So actually, he threw the mirror down, and he was actually shocked. What followed was disastrous. The investigation that followed next actually revealed that this guy was to die immediately after dropping the mirror down. The mirror was to break, and by breaking, he was also to die as the mirror broke. Luckily, the mirror landed safely on a soft surface and didn't break, and that one saved his life. He suffered, but he later on recovered. So from that day in our family, we don't use the mirror at night. We don't use the mirror at night at all. that is the story of the mirror and our family. Uh, However, this was just by the way. The main reason as to why we are here, we were to review the toilet. We have done that. So actually, we have come to the end of this video, and may I thank you for watching this video up to this point. Now, please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done so. So please do it right now. By doing so, you actually promote the video to reach a wider audience. And in the event that you are here for the very first time, please join the family by subscribing to the channel. Just bonyeza kidude chekundu, just press the red button. From my side is red, maybe from your side is black, so just press that subscription button, and by doing so you will be actually contributing a lot to the cause. Thank you very much again, and let's end it here, and we meet in the next video. Kwaherini.